And we're gonna start our fulcrum on the first molar, and we will adapt by starting on the distal facial angle of the tooth and move into the distal angle of the tooth. You come out from there, go straight up again where you start. That was on the distal facial angle, and now you want to go in doing small overlapping and horizontal strokes until you make it up to the mesial facial angle of the tooth. And here you want to make sure that your instrument is being adapted, and you find the ligament, the base of that pocket. You come out again, and one more time start on the distal facial angle of the tooth and move to the distal portion, and come out and start again where you left, where you begin. And now you're gonna continue to rock your way through, rocking through the facial portion. When you get to the mesial facial angle, you wanna go all the way into and angulate your instrument. Now that you make it to the first molar, you want to move your fulcrum to the first premolar, and again you start on that distal facial angle of the tooth, and you want to make sure you have a good hold of your instrument. You want to be gentle, no need to pressure too much. Starting on the distal facial angle, move into the distal portion of the tooth. Looking for the base of that pocket, and you come out and start all over again. And rocking, moving your wrist and adapting your instrument by moving it, and go in to the mesial portion of the tooth, looking for that pocket, for the base of the pocket, and we come out. Again, we do the premolar, same way. The premolar is more, in anatomy, it's skinnier than the molar, so you will angulate more, about 45-degree angle, starting on that distal facial angle. You want to start and go in by doing overlapping and horizontal strokes to the distal portion of the root. Now we will go to the premolar portion, and the premolar is a skinnier tooth, but still we will start on the distal facial angle of the tooth and go all the way into the distal portion of the tooth, feeling for that base by doing horizontal and overlapping stroke. Don't forget to rock your wrist. You come out when you get there again, all the way from the distal. You come out and start again on that distal facial angle. Go across from the facial portion of the tooth until you get to the mesial facial angle of the tooth, and now you feel for the mesial portion of the tooth. And you want to remember to rotate your instrument when you're going through. Now we will go to the first premolar, and we're gonna start again on our distal facial angle, going in by rocking out your wrist and at the fulcrum, by feeling all the way So remember, the first premolar has 2 roots, so it becomes bifurcating. You come out and you start again on that distal facial angle. And now we are going to move this part. This time your wrist has to move along with the instrument, and you want to rotate the instrument as well. Now you are in the mesial portion, and again rotating the instrument, and not forgetting to remember that tooth number 5 has 2 roots and it becomes bifurcated. And that will conclude our probing of sextant number 1. Now we are going to use our probe for sextant number 2, anterior maxillary teeth. For that, we want to sit at 11-12 position and have our patient's neck facing up, chin up, and we are going to start on the distal portion of tooth number 6. We want to make sure again that our instrument is nice and straight, midline of the tooth, very straight. And we're gonna go on the mid distal angle of the tooth and feel for the pocket by doing rocking, overlapping stroke without coming out. And again, we want to make sure we're nice and straight on the anterior teeth until we meet with the mesial portion of the tooth. And again, we rotate, keeping our fulcrum, and we feel for the pocket all the way to the mesial portion of the root. We keep on moving, and our fulcrum moves as well. And we do it again, nice and straight. Feel all the way in to the distal portion of the tooth. And we are going to rock in by doing overlapping and horizontal strokes. Rocking your hand from your wrist all the way up to the mesial portion of the tooth. We come out and go to the central, moving our fulcrum forward. And again, we go straight in on the distal portion and rocking, and small strokes, overlapping strokes, until we get all the way again. And my hand is going to move together with the instrument to adapt and be as straight as possible. One more. Keep my fulcrum keeps on moving with my instrument, and we're gonna go feel for this one. And again, trying to adapt into the tooth. If we want to keep it straight, we're gonna find that the instrument is gonna move forward. We don't want that. So in this case, we had to make sure we are angulated a little bit to feel the mesial portion of the central. And again, doing a small rocking, overlapping, and horizontal strokes. And over here, our instrument is going to move in order for us to feel the distal portion of this tooth, which is tooth number 8. And again, we move into tooth number 10, number 9. Get in there, feel all the way into the base of the pocket without hurting the ligament or the patient. So we don't want to make any pressure. We just want to feel to see if there's a pocket in there. Going all the way in. to the distal portion of the tooth, following the anatomy of that root. And again, and that's how we probe sextant number 2. Sitting on the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock position, we are going to pick our 11-12 Explorer, and we have to adapt it to the right position. The V shape of the instrument needs to go to the distal part of the tooth, and we will fulcrum on the first molar with our ring finger, holding the shank as close as possible, fulcruming on the first molar. We will start on the distal, facial distal angle of the tooth, and we will adapt and move to the distal portion of the tooth. Gentle and slightly go all the way through by rotating the instrument. And then we're gonna come out and start again right on the distal angle and continue on the facial portion of the tooth by the CEJ, and we're gonna do small overlapping strokes, and we're gonna make it all the way to the mesial angle, the mesio-facial angle of the tooth, and we're gonna adapt again by rotating the instrument, and we're gonna go into that portion, making sure we are rotating and adapting to feel the tooth. We're gonna continue on the second one, starting again on the distal facial angle, and we're gonna adapt all the way to the distal by rotating the instrument, and we're going to continue. Remember to feel the CEJ, and you can feel the difference between the CEJ and the calculus. We make it all the way through by making small strokes, overlapping strokes, and we're gonna make it all the way up to the mesio-facial angle again, and start adapting the instrument, the working end of the tip of the instrument, all the way to the mesio portion of the tooth. We come out again, and now we reposition our fulcrum to the first premolar, and we are going to start all over again on the distal angle, distal facial angle, and we're going to adapt by rotating the instrument and going all the way into the distal portion of the tooth. Again, doing small overlapping strokes, feeling the CEJ, and we continue to go through the facial portion, and we stop again over here on the mesio-facial angle and start adapting the instrument again all the way to the mesio portion. And this part right here will conclude our first sextant. And again, we do the same for the premolar. We start on the distal facial angle, go all the way to the distal, feel the CEJ, very slightly, going through all the way to the mesio portion angle of the tooth until we fix. And again, rotating small strokes all the way through, and we repeat all the way through every single tooth the same way. And that's how we explore for calculus with an 11-12 Explorer. Okay, so now we're gonna go move to explore the mandibular anterior, which is sextant number 5. And for that, the patient needs to be sitting and facing you. We're gonna start with the surfaces towards, so the patient will face us this way. We're gonna start making sure we have a straight position of our explorer, and we start on the midline. The midline of the tooth is you will see something like that, and we make sure that we have a straight chink. If we do it this way, we're gonna be away from the root of the tooth, but we start right at the midline, go below the gum by the CEJ, and we fulcrum. We start at the middle and slowly do overlapping strokes and rotate the instrument while we keeping a straight shape. Do the same for this one. We're doing surfaces towards, and we're gonna start at the midline, and we're gonna rock our way, feel the CEJ, and adapt by rotating the instrument. Come out, again, midline of the tooth. At the midline, we're gonna move all the way to the distal portion by doing small stroke, overlapping strokes, feeling the CEJ when you get to the distal, or in this case, the mesial angle, facial angle. You wanna rotate gentle the instrument to adapt it and feel the CEJ. You come out and again find your midline for tooth number 25, and you're gonna feel overlapping strokes, getting to the distal angle, and again adapt the explorer to make sure you can feel the root. And the same we're gonna do again while you're sitting at the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock position with the surfaces towards. And again, we are here at the canine. We move our fulcrum forward, closer to the canine, so we can have a straight angulation. And we start at the midline, and we go again doing overlapping strokes until we find the distal. Now we move to the 11, 12 position for the surfaces away. We fulcrum to start on the canine by fulcruming on the premolar and making sure we have a straight line angle. We start on the mesial all the way down, and again we do small overlapping strokes, feeling the CEJ and the base of the pocket to get all the way into the mesial portion of that canine number 27. And then we keep on moving our fulcrum closer. That is gonna ensure that we have a very straight up position for the instrument to be adapted. And again, we feel right at the midline and go all the way into the mesial portion of tooth number 26. Move forward, same midline, small overlapping stroke, rocking in and moving the instrument. You can rotate the instrument this way, nice and slow, to adaptate into the tooth. The anatomy of the root is very important to notice. And again, I keep on moving closer. The closer you are, the better is your instrument, and the better it feels nice and straight. Go through overlapping strokes, filling your CEJ, and that will be your surfaces away exploration with the 1112 explorer. This will be here the canine the same way.